We have Dan Lintz. He is the CEO of Vino Visit. Dan, welcome to the Wine Crush.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
I am having so much fun. Kent and I have been bantering back and forth, but in the meantime, I have pulled up your website. I have been playing around with Vino Visit during the break. You have to tell our guest about your website, how this created, and what a great tool it is for them.
Okay. Well, VinoVisit.com is a dedicated search engine for wine visitors to wine country, and it has all the tools there that everybody wants to go find and make an itinerary and plan a trip to wine country. So you can actually make reservations and pick the different times, and we tell you how far apart the wineries are. We give you a map so you can see the distance and tell you all about the wines and what kinds of things are there. You can look at pictures. You can read reviews from other people that have been to the wineries. And when you get done, you have a trip that's all ready to go.
I love it. See, of course, we're talking about Valentine's Day, and what we're going to close with is the idea that there's a lot of great things to do on Valentine's Day besides go sit by two at a restaurant. And a great thing to do if you're close to wineries, whatever region you're in, is to go spend a nice romantic day tasting wine. And from the look of it, I know you only started with one winery, but it seems like you have, hundreds on there now. How did you get wineries involved in this, and what has been their reception to Vino Visit?
Well, wineries are very excited to do this because they know that when somebody goes to look for the winery on the Internet, they have a tough time finding out stuff about them because typically all that's there is really about the wine. So on Vino Visit, for example, for Valentine's Day, if you wanted to search for romantic wineries or wines that are boutique wineries, wines with views, you can do that and narrow it down so you have some that might be more fun and choose the ones that don't have buses and the ones that aren't, quote, family-friendly and have picnic tables, and you probably have a very nice romantic time.
Well, it definitely makes it easier to hone. I've been in this business for actually longer than I care to admit, and people always come to me and they say, well, where should I go and how should I get there and where's the map? And I love it. I can be in the middle of a wine show, business meeting, or anything, and they'll call me and say, how did I get in? What was the phone number? And I'm lost. And your website seems to take care of all those problems.
Yeah, it does. That's where the idea came from. We all live in wine country out here in Napa, at least on the West Coast, and we kind of got tired of being the weekend tour guides and said there's got to be a better way, and that's where the idea came from. Now,
when you're looking at this, I noticed when you look at your website, you have different tasting setups. Some people, whether it's Mondavi having a $25 reserve tasting or a complimentary tasting. When people book on here, say I'm booking right now, I just booked at Folie à Deux Winery for Valentine's Day from 10 to 10:45. Does Folie à Deux hold you responsible if people don't show up?
No, Folie à Deux does not hold us responsible. They get the information about who's coming. They send them out a nice confirmation email and continue the conversation at that point. And from then on, it's really the relationship between the winery. We're just trying to help everybody get to where they want to go.
So you're the Amazon. You're kind of the middleman to help everyone and make it easy.
Yeah, it's kind of actually for some people the best analogy is the open table, which kind of does the same thing for restaurants.
Easy enough. I think about California wine country, Napa, Sonoma, around the height of summer, let's say the last weekend in July. Does your website ever become overbooked or overcrowded and certain wineries come off and go on? Or is it all continuous and just goes between the winery and the person trying to tour?
Well, the way it works is it's really the visitor chooses the time they would like to go to a particular winery, and we show the wineries that have that availability. So if there's not that availability, they'll start to show other things that are an air time or similar type of winery, and kind of help them from that point. But, there really is a lot of capacity in Napa Valley that people don't know about because, they only know some of the big brand names, and they only know the stuff that's typically visible, and they're usually asking the first winery they go to where to go next. So by having all of these wineries in one place, it's much easier for them to find something ahead of time.
It makes sense. Now, Dan, your background's not in wine, is it?
Well, actually, I spent the last couple of years working at Crush Pad in San Francisco, which is a winery where everybody that comes can be their own winemaker.
Now, when you say working, were you actually helping make wine? Were you actually helping people as they came in the door? Were you doing the technical side of it? What part of it did you take and run with?
Well, the part I take and ran with was what we call the commerce program, where you could actually come in and have your own wine brand and sell wine commercially. We had 135 wineries that we put together in a box, kind of, so to speak, and about 350 new wines in 2 years. And we all helped when it was harvest, and time to do that, everybody was downstairs working on the wine.
Well, perfect. This has got to be a great way because, see, here I see the aspects of your job I'd really enjoy. We can't really put a winery on our website until we go visit and do the whole tasting experience ourselves. So, of course, you have to go and be the guinea pig, don't you?
Well, we've done some of that, and we've also teamed up with the Napa Valley Wine Project, at least for Napa and Sonoma. And Dave Thompson is a guy who's gone out and tasted wine and visited every winery, captured pictures, and has a really nice review that he's given us to put on our website. And from this point on, we're going to have reviews from people that visit the winery. And you can't put a review of Vino Visit unless you actually go. So we make sure that there are people who have actually been there and get a great recommendation for the people that want to go.
Easy enough. Do you have plans to do another state besides California or Washington, Oregon in our future?
Well, we'll have Washington, Oregon by the end of the month. We'll probably have the entire rest of the U.S., Australia, and Europe probably within another 2 months.
Well, I love it. Well, if you decide you need some East Coast wineries on there, let me know, and we'll all sign up. We'll help you out on that one.
Well, that would be fantastic.
All right. Well, Dan, thank you very much for being part of the Crush today. Hopefully all of our listeners will go check out Vino Visit, VinoVisit.com. And, of course, your link will be on our website so that everyone can go check it out and have a great Valentine's Day.
You too. Look forward to seeing you when we get out.
All right. Thanks, Dan.